Hey, welcome back to the Paradise Paradox. We're just going to keep rolling on, continuing from our last conversation there.
Double feature. We haven't done that before.
Yeah, extra value pack for your free YouTube viewing.
It's the New Year energy. There's a lot. I don't know. I can feel like it's going to be a good year.
Yeah.
Like it's just the 2015 is a nice number. Okay, so thesis, government looking after money. I don't know. We took a little break.
Yeah.
Where were we up to?
Yeah. So you were talking about how banks are kind of a scam, and how Bitcoin ties into that.
I didn't say they're a scam. Just they are what they are, and you know the banks, the institutions. I mean, this is why I started researching them, because they were like they're the most. I realized that it's not the government saying, you know, you can mine, you can't mine, you know, what companies are going to be able to do what. It's finance.
Right.
If you got the money, buy it, do it.
Okay.
You don't have the money, go home.
The government is secondary to having the money.
Yeah.
You have the money, you buy off the government.
Well, if this isn't new news, I mean, I respect our viewers and their opinions a little bit higher to realize that if they're watching us, they're pretty intellectual people. they pretty have ability to think. They're pretty aware of trying to declog the wheels of their mind, and you know they're trying to. I mean, we're not giving them information. We're just sharing our ideas, our points of view.
Yeah.
So I would hope that we stimulate a little thought, and they can go research for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not producing dogma, but
like you mentioned things like the economic hitman, and in that John Perkins goes into detail about how from his point of view, the IMF and the World Bank are kind of like these predatory institutions which exploit the governments of developing nations. But they basically operate on the same model as Pablo Escobar. They're like, buy lead buy silver or buy lead. We'll buy you up or we'll shoot you up. But the shooting up doesn't come directly from the bank.
It's not a lead anvil that drops out of the sky on someone's head?
Could be. Normally it's helicopters that just happen to, go down.
Black helicopters.
No, I mean the helicopters that carry the president.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just occurred to me, you see all the banking suicides that were going on?
Yeah.
There's like 70 now.
Wow.
It's like, they stopped talking about it. Like you hear about the first 15, but then they just stopped calling them bankers. They're just people dying.
Right.
A lot of people dying.
Yeah, so kind of suspicious circumstances.
Well, I believe this was something to tie into political and obsolete banking systems and people digging too far and knowing too much. I'm happy to know nothing. Don't tell me anything. I'm not saying nothing about nothing.
Man who knew too little.
Yeah. No, it's safe. Why do you want to know stuff? Knowing nothing is more possibility, because then you open your mind to knowing. If you know nothing, it's open slate to know everything. Or know everything and nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
But just laterally, think about the bank. The bank is, most of them are in malls. They look like a shop.
Right.
It's a shop.
Yeah.
With a big guy at the front with a shotgun.
Well, yeah, here, definitely they have that. Okay.
But what do they do? I don't know. I'm not going to rant on about banks, but just briefly, banks traditionally were buildings to hold your wealth, right? Where you can go
hold your gold and silver, and then they give you a claims receipt, so you use that to trade with people, because the money's more secure in your bank than carrying it in your pocket.
Yeah. But what happens when they don't have it?
Well, they don't have the gold, they don't have the silver.
So what are they doing?
So they're just taking pieces of paper that say I own you on it, except they don't. Nobody actually owes anything because there's no gold and no silver. It's just people writing pieces of paper and exchanging.
Why does it have to be gold and silver?
Okay. So gold and silver traditionally have been money for thousands of years because they happen to be exceptionally good at acting as money. So they have certain qualities, like they're durable, they're a store of wealth, they're divisible, widely accepted.
Fungible. Fungible was another one.
Yeah, fungible. So one piece of gold, one gold coin, more or less. There's nothing, not really any such thing as being 100% fungible. But basically, if you have 1 ounce of gold, it's more or less equivalent to another ounce of gold that somebody else.
At least as a base level. I mean, you can get some fancy coins.
Yeah, you can get numismatic coins which are worth more because of their historical value. But the gold itself and its melt value, 1 ounce of gold is equal to 1 ounce of gold.
But so gold and silver are money, possibly now Bitcoin as well, because it has all the same values, all the same characteristics of gold and silver, except that it's Superfly.
It's much more portable than gold and silver. Like if you wanted to transport your wealth today, you wouldn't really use gold because it's going to be difficult to travel across borders. It's going to be difficult to carry if you have a lot of wealth, like a whole lot of wealth. Because 5 ounces of gold, it's like this. It's about as big as my thumb, and you can put it in your pocket.
Yeah, it's like a stick of butter almost.
Yeah, smaller, much smaller than a stick of butter. Yeah,
you're a very rich man.
Yeah,
but in the real world, you can buy whatever you want with gold. In the real world.
Yeah, but the problem is you normally have to exchange it for fiat currency first, because I can use Perth Mint gold and silver coins to buy things, but the problem is a Perth Mint $1 is actually 1 ounce of silver, which is actually worth about $16 or $17.
But Yeah.
So I can't.
Which is very, very cheap. I wouldn't give it away for that.
For what? 1/16 its value.
Well, value. I watched a documentary on how they actually extract silver. Per ounce, there's like what 600 tons of dirt.
Right.
Like that's a lot of truck. It's a lot of diesel. It's a lot of machinery, men. That's a big company to move that much dirt to give you 1 silver coin, and they're going to give you what, $16?
Yeah.
I'll hang on to that coin. I'd buy it off you.
No, not bad, but that's kind of like you're thinking about it in terms of the labor theory of value, but isn't
that real? Isn't it like tangible value?
It is tangible value, but in a sense, because value is subjective. So, for example, I know that a 1 ounce kookaburra, a silver coin from the Perth Mint, is worth about, say, 20 Australian dollars, 25 Australian dollars. But if I walk into a supermarket and say, hey, here's this coin, they might not even accept it. And if they do accept it, they'll probably accept it for face value, $1. So value is subjective. I know that it's worth more. To a lot of people, it's worth more. But to them, no, it might even be worth nothing. They might not even accept it at all.
Yep.
So that's a subjective theory of value. So regardless of how much work it takes to get something, just because it takes a lot of work to get something doesn't mean it's worth a lot. And that's a kind of old economic idea, which it's not current anymore. It's not accepted because it doesn't fit the reality.
This reality. I'm living in my own reality.
All right. You want to live in the Marxist world? Go ahead.
Well, I think right now we know there's more than one reality, just right next to each other. Like you know. Yeah, I'm not going to get crazy with this stuff, but you know, just talking the silver coin, a supermarket. Not going to accept it. Not worth anything. Yeah. You go to the jewelry store. They pretty know what it's worth weight-wise.
Yep.
They'll give you the $16. You go to a weekend where people are collecting coins, and they go, "Oh shit, that's like a 19 whatever coin, and that's worth $10,000."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Really? I was about to trade it in for 10 boxes of cornflakes." That's the world we're living in now, where nobody knows the value of anything and the price of everything.
Yeah, well, especially with silver and gold, like you can see these Mark Dice videos. Have you ever watched Mark Dice on YouTube?
I've seen a lot. No,
Okay.
no.
Right.
I mean, it's not coming to mind.
This guy, some of his videos get really far out, talking about reptilians or more about the Illuminati.
I should be watching these videos.
Yeah, well, they're entertaining for sure. But the ones I love are the ones where he goes onto the street and he has like a face value $50 coin, and it's like a Canadian maple leaf. Actually, it's an ounce of gold. It's worth about $1,200. And he says, "Hey, do you want to buy this special today? I'll sell it to you for $49.99. And they're like, "What is this? It's just a hunk of metal." And like, it's worth something in Canada, like it's legal tender in Canada. And he's like, "Yeah." And they're like, I don't
Keep going,
want
yeah.
this. They say, "No, I don't want it." Like just about every person he talks to doesn't consider it valuable at all.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty normal.
Yeah. It is these days, because people they just have no concept of the value of precious metal, and that's how far removed our consciousness is. Like we're kind of being brainwashed, or everybody's just forgotten that once upon a time silver and gold were money.
The idea of consciousness is kind of like the driving level of your own perception. When I first saw The Economic Hitman, I wanted to be an economic hitman. How cool, you're working internationally, you're dealing with like big governments, dealing with the big banks.
Yeah.
Like you're not a pleb. You're doing big
Bribing
work.
presidents in Chile or whatever.
They're just words, man. You're doing business.
You're doing business, you're selling the efforts of millions of people. Or
Yeah.
that's what you're trying to buy them, rather.
Well, buying or selling is just which side of the coin you're looking at. The queen's face or the kookaburra?
Yeah, but the point is, it's actually an illegitimate transaction, because you're actually buying something which the president can't, by all like natural rights, he has no right to sell you the efforts of the future efforts of people.
Really?
That's actually what.
So what does that mean for all the people of the world that live in these first world countries that have massive debt limits and owe huge amounts of money to international banks, country-wise, where your government has sold your future labours of yourself and your children, plus interest, plus inflation, deflation, loss of purchase power. Somebody made a deal with the devil.
Yes. Yeah. Are you going to tell us about your deal with the devil?
I can. I can. I mean, I didn't realize that I made a deal with the devil, but when you open your mind to the movements of international banking systems and governments and realize what they're doing and try and follow suit, you try and follow suit because you're not a big boy, but you start thinking like them, so you start acting like them. And in doing so, I made a deal with the devil. It happened. I didn't know until the devil came to talk to me in my dreams. But, he's not a bad guy. He speaks English.
Right.
Okay. I'll tell a story. It's cool.
Okay.
It was very confronting at the time. Like, it was very confronting because I was dreaming and I woke up. I woke up laying in my bed. My wife's to my side, and it was just like waking up. It was like completely normal. I woke up.
Right.
Just wake up like, I got bumped or something and I woke up. And in doing so, I heard like a low voice. Joanna was talking in her sleep, and it was I've heard people talk in their sleep before, so it wasn't exactly like a startling deal. And I bumped it, snap her out of it, or Or at first I thought she was asking me for a drink of water or something, like, do you mind going downstairs and grabbing a glass of water? Which, of course, being a good husband, off I go get a glass of water. That would have been nice in comparison to what came next.
Right.
And then I could tell she wasn't awake. She was just talking in her sleep, and I couldn't actually make out what she was saying. So I got closer. I asked her. I said, "You talking to me? Like, you talking to me?" It's weird, man. It was so weird. Like, it's even now going back, I feel like I'm getting my composure's changing within myself. Like my energy, I can feel like my fields are changing because I'm going back to that time.
Yeah.
Like my hearing just changed. I'm a loopy weirdo, but my ears. Just thinking about going back to that room, my mind went back to that room, and I can feel the presence of something.
Okay.
Like this is bigger than. I'll tell you what I've come to rationalize afterwards. I'm just going to tell you what happened.
Yep.
I'm laying down. I woke up. My wife's talking in her sleep. I bump her to wake her up, and she doesn't wake up. She continues to talk. At this point, I feel like she's talking to me, but I can't hear what she's saying. Like I can't make it out. So I go to wake her up. I go give her a hug, and I say to her. I say to her, like, this is all in Spanish, so I'm trying to like work out what I actually said.
Yeah.
It was like,
Well, you said, just say it in Spanish.
¿Qué? ¿Estás bien? Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah. And I mean, in memory now, it's in English, but I can't tell you. I just knew what she was saying, and then she started to begin to say, "I am not who you think I am.
Right.
I am not who you're talking to.
Right.
I made a deal with the devil. I made a deal with the devil." And at this point, I'm starting to realize that it's not even, I know I'm talking to my wife, but it's not her. Like, I feel the presence of it's not her. And then I ask, "Who are you?" It just occurred to me, I asked, "Who are you?" And at that point, she just started doing this, like, she started shaking a little bit. And I said, "Who are you? What's going on?" You know what I mean? And at that point, she woke up, and it was like laying down to, I'm awake. At the exact same time, my hand's next to her, and I came up as well. Like I thought I was already up, but I woke up again. Like I woke up into a dream, the whole thing happened, and then I woke up again. So, and I was like, all the hairs were sticking up. Like I just talked to the devil.
Right.
Like this wasn't my wife. And then I realized this couldn't have been my wife because I was in a dream.
Yeah.
How could we both be in the same dream? She had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So it was me talking to an entity that was in my dream, posing as my wife.
Right.
So that was it. And then I was like, and Joanna was scared because she looked at me like he's losing his shit. And I'm like, I didn't tell her. I just spoke with the devil, and you're the devil. No, I was trying to put together what was happening. A few days later, things started coming more clearly, and I realized, okay, that wasn't exactly her. That was my own manifestation in my own dream of someone talking to me or something, and had nothing to do with her. So the deal with the devil is obviously me. The devil, well, this is an interpretation, but my latest interpretation is. The devil is, the Bible states, the man of the flesh of the man, the 666. If you look into the physical, the chemistry of the 666, we're talking about like single neutron, 6 electrons, 6 protons, whatever. It's material.
Really?
It's perfect. It's carbon. It's carbon.
What? Okay. Because this is like my normal
I still feel like shit. I feel like something like, I feel like there's something that, like, just thinking about a dream just messes me up. Like, I feel like my whole magnetics are off. Like, my ears went like, like it's
a little weird.
I gotta shake this out. But yeah, it was weird. Okay. Super weird. Like it still affects me thinking about it. But if you look at like the chemistry of the 666, a lot of people have mapped it to be in like a basic level of the carbon element.
Right.
And
of course, on Earth, most of us are carbon-based.
Well, carbon's like 30%. 30% of the body, 30% of Earth. It's like we have the same ratio. It's like
right.
we are walking animated clay.
Yeah. Right.
Isn't that the Bible says? Yeah. You know, from clay they made man, breathe the air into him, he come to life.
Breath of life to man. Yeah, that was the idea.
So man, we took a real turn. But anyway, so my idea of the devil is the highest frequency of energy dancing with this carbon, which is material, everything. So maybe it was my thoughts into trying to manifest realities and I guess to a certain level superimpose my reality on top of the other realities of the people around me. And like, you know, you people don't realize, but you wake up as a different person every day. Like every day is a new life. Because you don't exactly...
In what sense though? Because there's many ways to take it.
Okay, in the way that you wake up and you don't exactly remember who you were when you went to bed. Yeah. You know, it's like you know, we talked about it in the morphic fields. I think I mentioned to you only yesterday about how you think you're you because you're the person closest or most like
yourself in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. So you continue this channel.
And you would kind of assume that your consciousness is continuous. Like yesterday, I was a person, and today I'm a person again. I'm still that person that it was my consciousness that experienced the memories that I have in my mind, but you don't really know. There's no direct way to confirm that. And this is like the Chuang-Tzu's story, his parable about going to sleep. He has a dream. He's a butterfly. And he's flying around as a butterfly, he's having a great time. And then, of course, he wakes up and he looks at his hands and he's like, oh, I'm actually Chuang-Tzu. I'm not a butterfly. And he asks himself, how do I know that I'm actually now Chow? And then I was dreaming I was a butterfly. Or that I'm now a butterfly dreaming that I'm Chuang.
You're gonna give our followers a headache. you don't know. You can't know.
Yeah. There's no way you can know. If you go to sleep and then you wake up and maybe you're the same person. Maybe
you're still playing the game, or at least you think you are.
You just have to be kind of cool with it. Because I've had it like
just be cool.
I've had just play along, right? I've had experience where I kind of woke up and I'm like, something is different. Like it seems like my curtains are a different color or the wall paint is a different color. Something very subtle has changed about this reality. And I just had to accept it and say, okay, well I guess this is the world that I'm living now. And there's no way I can prove it. There's no way I can contact the previous reality and give them a call and ask what's up.
Well, when you open this to your mind, when you open this idea in your head, then all of a sudden you start thinking maybe, have I noticed anything different? Have I noticed anything weird? Like I know that I came back from the country different. I know I'm very tuned into myself, and I know that I came back and I've got more power. Something happened out there, and in my meditation, totally different game. Like I'll get into that later. I'll save it. I want to finish your story. Okay. The idea of the devil is material, is the carbon manifestation of material. I believe that material is the shadow of energy. The same way we have a shadow of our actions, our movement through time. The material is what it is because it's the shadow of whatever the energy is doing. So if you've got energy particles that are doing their frequency and their dance, and there we have a desk, because that's the shadow of whatever the material's dance is. That only came to me yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's kind of true because we can't see the energy itself, but we can see the the matter, which is like an impression of the energy.
Yeah, the latest...
A bunch of atoms together.
The latest impression or the latest expression of the dance of the matter, which is the devil, which is our reality, which is the...
You think carbon is the devil, or you think like humans are the devil, or the earth is the devil?
No, I think that the devil is just a word people made up.
Right.
I don't actually know where the word came from. I don't think it's got...
Okay.
I don't think it's got anything to do with actual an entity, an evil entity. Okay. I think it was just...
In the Old Testament, Satan gets mentioned like maybe once, and it's in the book of Job, where Satan is like Hebrew for the questioner, or the questioner of man. And you know the story of Job?
No.
Okay,
I'm going to read this tonight.
Okay.
This is like crucial to me working out what the hell's happening in my life right now.
It's an interesting one because so what happens is God is like, he's all proud and stuff. It's like, Job is my man. That's my boy. He's always doing good stuff. He loves me no matter what.
Cool dude.
Yeah. and so Satan comes up and it's like, oh yeah, you want to bet? I think if you take all the stuff from Job, because Job is very prosperous, if you take his farm and his house, he's not going to like you very much anymore. And God says, you're on. Oh, let's see who's right about this. And then Job loses his farm and his house and his crops, and his crops suffer pestilence, locusts come in, whatever. He loses all of his material possessions. Then he still loves God. Satan comes in and is like, well, maybe you're right about that. Let's see about his family. And this goes on. Job loses his family, and all of his kids and all of his
pushing the man too far.
Yeah, this is like a set for I don't know, Tom Clancy movie.
Yeah, exactly. I'm feeling Max Payne.
Yeah. A man pushed to the edge. Is Job gonna take on God, the biggest enemy of all?
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
So Job loses his farm, his crops, his wife, his children, and eventually loses his health. He's covered in boils. His friends come out to him because he's exiled from the town, and they're like, "Look, Job, you've obviously done something to anger God." And Job's like, "No, man. I mean, I didn't do shit." But he still loves God. Nothing shakes his faith, right? But then Satan eventually says, "Okay, I'm satisfied. I guess he does really love you unconditionally." And God's like, "Yeah, that's right, bitch." But the thing is, Satan is portrayed as this questioner spirit. He's like this dude. He's like God's right-hand man or left-hand man.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
That fits perfectly into what I'm thinking. So for me to question what the dance is, the reality, through I'm doing it. I'm changing the world. Through changing and manifesting realities, material illustrations of a dance of energy, this is wizardry. This is magic. So convincing yourself of an idea so deep,
right,
that you begin to see what you want to see, and you manifest the reality through your perception in a different form, the shadow of the dance of the energy. The questioning,
okay. So
questioning what it is.
You're saying let's see, I think you've thrown out a few ideas here, but you're talking about like something, using the mind stuff to create an idea and start to breathe form into this idea before there's any physical signs of it.
This is what kids do when they look at clouds. they look at a cloud and go, look, I can see a poppy. I can
But
see a horse.
That's a bit different because that's like a form of play. They're not actually expecting something to manifest from that. But you are talking about manifesting something from your ideas.
Yeah, well, it depends how hard, how powerful you are.
Right.
If a child looks at a cloud and says, there's a starfish, you may look at it and go, oh yeah, I can see what you're seeing. But that child sees a starfish. Otherwise they wouldn't have said it. But the fact that now that child told you, I see a starfish, and you look at it, your mind starts to make out the starfish shape in the cloud.
Yeah.
What sort of two-way communication is that from your mind, like the perception of your mind, to the actual formation of the cloud? Do you make it the starfish? Because at that point, in your reality, in your world, you made that cloud the starfish shape by being told that's what it looks like. So, that's what I'm referring to.
So this is kind of like, the power that people have over the reality or over the culture of humans, because if you can get people to interpret things in a certain way, persuade them to your viewpoint, then it's like you have a certain kind of power. And I think this can be, I guess this can be abused, because it's like cult leaders, they tell you how to interpret the world in a certain way, and they're doing it for ego gratification. They're not genuinely seeking truth.
Yep.
Or they were genuinely seeking truth, and they get
you must use your power for good and not evil. That's what it is. So that's my pact with the devil, because I'm now aware of what that is.
But I don't get it, because what is your pact with your pact with the devil? Is that you made some bad decisions?
No, it's not that I made bad decisions. It's that I'm opening doors to the power to change the reality, to emphasize, not emphasize, or to care about different things. I've got the power to do that now.
Right. So, but are you saying like you've sold your soul?
Oh no, selling your soul. I never made that deal. That's totally different.
Right.
Yeah, that's a totally different
thing.
But
then you say you made a pact. I mean, you're talking about a contract, right? So
no.
You're talking about consideration on both sides.
No, well, that's what this entity's coming through my dreams trying to tell me.
Right.
But I never made no deal with nobody.
not that you remember. If he has your signature somewhere, then that's a different thing.
Yeah, well, these are all clowns trying to manipulate my dream state, a state which I don't have 100% control over. But I'll get it. I'm going to take control of my dreams, and I'm going to have to kick these guys' ass, aren't I?
Let's take a break. What do you make of the pact, the whole pact with the devil? Do you think it has some deeper meaning, or was it just a weird hypnopompic experience? Was it a kind of visitation by a spirit, or what do you make of it?
Well, I know it makes me feel all weird.
Yeah.
Like it was confronting for me at the time. So, but I mean, I know you asked me earlier whether there was whether I actually made a pact with the devil, or whether I remember, or what's going on. But I didn't. It's got nothing. I don't think it's anything to do with the actual pact, other than it's just funny to say that I've got a pact with the devil. It's just like that's just something I experienced. I think it's just a fear thing.
Right.
I think a lot of people have goals they want to try and accomplish. Things they want to try and do, and they're scared of failing, or they're scared of not failing. I mean, everyone's got different psycho issues. And I think this is kind of like something, like a wall trying to manifest in front of me, saying that I'm going too fast, and that I need to slow down.
Okay. So you think it's kind of similar, like you mentioned you had your dreams about facing bulls and lions and things like that.
I'm still having them. Like I had a break from all that.
Right.
And there was one that came up just before our trip, and then it's just these last couple nights there's like lions and pumas, but I was in a Hilux, so nothing happened.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfectly safe.
Yeah, I know, it was unbreakable.
Yeah. Cool.
But I think in this case, with the whole devil thing, it's probably because I've been researching into manifesting and the ideas of what material actually is in this dreamscape reality. So trying to manifest in your dreams, it's like, of course, your resistance is going to be faced. You're going to be faced with resistance with anything. It's like going to the gym. You're gonna face that guy that doesn't want to go to the gym, and it's not about the constant flow, or it's not about always going to the gym. It's about being able to notice that I've taken a break for a couple of days, and that you're going to go back in. You're going to get back to doing your routine and going back to the gym. I think in this case,
so the difficult part of the process isn't necessarily going every day, but it's when you do drop off, you can pick it back up.
Yeah, and that person that goes sleep in, or that part of you that says don't worry about it, tomorrow, that's the devil in you. That's like, so my manifestation was the dream, and that's just coming in saying, stop trying to mess with your dreams, stop trying to control, stop trying to drive, let it go. You got nothing here. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not worried. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah.
So this year I'm going to finish my uni.
Okay.
That's
that's
wrapping the dream. There's no pact with the devil. It's just that's what happened in my dream.
Is that like the idea of this pact with the devil? Like, I mean, it like makes me think of something like, imagine if you were somehow unconscious, like you have your own conscious life and you go about your daily life, and imagine if during your dreams you're having these out-of-body experiences and astral traveling and stuff, and your unconscious is making all these agreements with spirits or something, and you have no awareness of it. I remember one time, like 10 more than 10 years ago, I heard a rumor that I had gone to jail. Somebody came up to me and asked me, "Oh, hey Kurt, how was jail?" And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Had no consciousness whatsoever. I was like, somebody's obviously starting rumors. But then something weird happened in conjunction with that. A month or a couple of months later, someone told me that someone had gone to my friend's house, apparently driving there in a stolen vehicle, trying to sell this vehicle to my friend.
This really happened?
I don't know, because
it's a story.
I'll tell you what was reported to me. And,
okay.
And then I guess there are a few facets of it. So this guy rocked up. He didn't give his real name. He gave his nickname, and so he came in and said, Kurt told me to meet him here.
Was it McLovin?
No, I think it was more street than that. It was like, I don't know, Maniac or something. Some like biker nickname or something like that, right? So the guy comes in and he sits down and has tea with my friend, and he mentions my name and then starts trying to sell her this car, which looks like it's stolen, and he has like prison tattoos on his neck and stuff, like on his sleeves, whatever. And and so I heard about this a few days later, and I was like, that's pretty weird. And I thought, what if what had happened was I had been bilocating, like I was in two places at once. I thought I was at home sleeping, but I had actually transported myself in my dreams to a jail, had told this guy to come see me when he got out of jail, and told him because I was a coward, I told him to meet him at my friend's house instead of at my house.
Well, who wants to do business at your house?
Yeah.
That's just sloppy.
Yeah. But I have no idea of that. But actually, that sort of thing happened to me a few times around that period. Like a guy came up to me in a nightclub and he's like, "Hey," and he called me Tripper, which is a nickname I had years ago because of the crazy way I dance. And
you had the nickname Tripper?
Yeah.
I've got another mate with a nickname.
I'm sure there are a lot of trippers.
Synchronicities.
Out there.
Hey, I'm on track.
It wasn't a common nick. It wasn't common among my friends, but some people call me that.
Cool.
Anyway, so this dude came up to me in the nightclub and he was like, "Hey, Tripper, you were at my birthday party last week," and I was like, No, I wasn't.
Are you sure?
Am I sure?
Yeah.
Or is he sure?
No,
What are you asking?
I'm asking whether you're sure, because there's a lot of things going on. Maybe you got like a Tyler Durden thing going on.
Yeah.
Just going out there and
what it made me question, like, how
lifting
sure
your
can I
street
be?
cred.
Yeah, yeah. Or this guy was very certain, and I was there, and he said to me like 3 times, "No, you were there," and I was like,
Is this part of the test, sir?
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so tell us about what you're going to do on your thesis.
Well, just before we jump, are you thinking that maybe I did make a pact at some level? Because
I don't know. I mean, there's nothing in your dream or in the hypnopompic experience. He didn't actually say, "You've made a pact with me," did he?
No, well, it was actually, I made a pact, which was Joanna.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm thinking that I manifested that through her, because she she might have been talking, but what I heard wasn't what she was saying. It was like I was in dream space as well.
Yeah.
I've really got no idea. I just know that I'm being confronted lately with more nightmares than normal. And I think it's because, I'm setting a few pretty high goals for myself this year. And I already know it's going to be the best year I can have, because it's the only year I'm going to have. Like, it's the only thing I've got in front of me now. So I have to do it. This is it. This is the big one. So the fact that I want to get so much done, it's like I'm getting walls put in front of me, which everyone gets walls put in front of them.
So you don't think you actually made a pact with some kind of spirit, demon or?
No, that's not like me.
But let's assume for a second that the thing talking through your wife's mouth was actually a representative of a real being.
Well, then we need to renegotiate.
Right. Show me the clause.
Yeah, what do I get? And what do I sell?
Every contract has to have consideration. That's the thing. Even if you're giving your soul or giving a peppercorn.
Yeah. So I mean, okay. So what's the question? Like whether I did it or what, or like.
Well, you don't think you actually made any pact, and but if it said, "I made a pact," that's what it said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But not necessarily with you.
Yeah.
So is it just like making conversation?
Well, perhaps, but I mean, I'm assuming that it's got something to do with me, because otherwise, why did it present itself in front of me? And in a dream space, it's like, unless there are other entities creating like Inception type environments, then it's all in my head.
Yeah.
So where is it coming from? Me.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, the fact that it did kind of startle me. It's a fear thing. It's pure fear, and we have to run towards our fear. Our fear is like the protective mechanism is like it's irrelevant now, and if whatever you're scared of is kind of like it's self-presenting itself in here I am, but it's scary because we're human and we're scared of achieving. So I don't know, especially now that this is the uni thing.
Yeah.
Got to do it. Like it's because it's not it's the old world that needs to become the new world.
So the old world, you're talking about an institution like a university.
Well,
which is,
universities are just schools. And
Yeah.
at the moment, it's facilitating this. It's facilitating me in a channel to do this study that's going to open up a new digital economy, or at least.
Right. So
Well,
the old world is the university, and the new world is like high technology, Bitcoin.
okay, no. What I'm thinking is the old world's like the banking system,
Right. Okay.
and the new world is like, for example, Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and how at the moment in the new world, it's in our world, it's only like what, $300, $285 or something. It's like, and if for it to go for as high as it was to as low as what it is, it's like it's not representative of the value that the blockchain has, or the technology.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that price is only going to, well, it's going to move to do with the collective perception of whatever it's worth. But the mechanism that we're using at the moment, which is financial institutions and money, because fiat currency isn't going to show a representation, and that's why I need to like shed light on what it's actually worth by jumping into like network effects and like the synergy value of
So
all
when you say network effect, you're talking about effect like if one person in the world has a telephone, it's worth 0 approximately. But if 2 people have a telephone, it's worth a significantly more. Then, of course, if millions and millions of people all over the world have a telephone, that makes it really valuable.
Yep.
The same thing with Bitcoin. The more people accept Bitcoin, the more valuable it is.
Yes. And at the moment, with the systems that we're using and the amount of penetration that it has into the community, into the public, then it's just not showing us real value. Yeah. So that's kind of the crux of what I want to do now.
So your thesis is like to present the value proposition of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies and other digital commodities.
Well, it is now, yeah. But it's taken me so long to get to that point because I kept researching. And I wanted to produce something that was representative of my emotional ride in this reality. So that's where I'm at. I mean, and considering using that telephone example, if nearly half the transactions happened in the last year, and in the last year we've seen a 75% drop, I mean, that's insane. How can something that's so valuable and liberating to all people drop 75% in value and grow double? It's like, that math doesn't work. So here I am, that's my job.
Yep. Okay.
Cool.
But you're not, I mean, you're not going to be talking so much about the price of it, because that's kind of secondary. You're talking about the real value or the future potential value, something like that.
Yes, I just need to come up with some kind of hypothesis of how I can present that using real reality, using the institutions that we have, using the measures that we have, how I can actually document what it's worth and try pull some examples. I mean, this is what I'm struggling with, to try and rationalize something that at the moment is jelly. But I'm feeling good about it. It's a good year.
Good.
I don't know. Have you set goals for yourself? I mean, if that is my number one, what have you got?
Okay, so I've got a few. Let's see. So the first thing is, we've done about six or seven episodes of Paradise Paradox at the moment. I want to get to 100 by the end of the year. Yep.
Well, I'm going to help you do it.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it. Okay, well, that's already done. So doing that right now.
Well, we need to break it down a little bit, and we'll figure out our 3-month, 6-month goals and that type of thing. How many we need to be on track.
A few milestones, and
we'll put a poster on the wall and take them off as we do each one. So
sweet. Just saying posters and walls. I want you to take photos of this artwork because people. I mean, it's pretty. I'm looking around the room all the time because I'm looking at these posters, looking at me, looking at these paintings. Yeah. So maybe we should splash them through the podcast.
Yeah.
Like
sure.
It'd be cool, like every 10 minutes to show a different artwork.
So most of these are by my housemate, local Guadalajara artist Daniel Neufeld. This one. That one, I don't think it is. That one's different. But we'll take a few photos of the other ones too. Yeah. Yeah, so that's one thing. And then another thing I want to do, I want to have at least 12 layer 3 or layer 4 lucid dreams. So lucid dreams in which at least I'm aware that I'm in a dream and I have the full knowledge of what a dream constitutes. So I'm aware that within the dream is not actual reality. I have a separate body which is like lying asleep somewhere. And beyond that, a layer 4 lucid dream in which I can manifest things. So
consciously interact in your dream space.
Yeah, so to consciously interact firstly, and then to be able to manifest things. Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm already started working on that. I've got a dream journal, and yeah, I've found just by starting to take a dream journal, I realized how quickly I can change from hardly remembering any dreams, like remembering like 1 or 2 dreams a month, to remembering like maybe 10, 15, or maybe 20 dreams a month.
Well, I'm super interested in dreaming and remembering and manifesting, controlling, all that. So
yep.
I'm gonna hit you up. We need to go into depth with all that stuff.
Yeah, let's.
And tools. More so like what can I do? Because I remember it was a while back, I was playing with binaural beats and how that was affecting dreams, especially after I went to the gym. So I've done a couple hours at the gym, I'm fatigued, lay down on the couch, listen to binaural beats, and man, the dreams were cool.
Okay. And what time of day would you do?
Midday.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Because some people say that when you're fatigued, that's the worst time to dream because the dreams will be mundane. But I guess it's different because you're talking about not like exhaustion where you're really tired, but just physical fatigue where all your muscles are worked out.
Yeah, just being like muscle tired. So your brain's 100%, but you're just tired. So you find the bed or the lounge that you're laying on super comfortable.
Right.
And I found that just easier to dream. But I mean, that's a little while ago. That's why I'm interested in your tools. I got to pick it back up.
Yeah. So I've done a little research and we
get the skills back.
Maybe next episode. And well, the only other thing I had was I wanted to get a Mexican visa or a Mexican residency.
I got to do that too.
Do some research, talk to an immigration lawyer or something.
We got the same goals.
Yeah, perfectly aligned.
But I think before we disappear, because I still got a little bit of time, I was listening to, just the other day, back to one of our earlier episodes, and I realized that that's not actually me. Yeah. Do you remember me telling you that?
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm listening to somebody else because I couldn't follow my thought process.
It might be representative that you need to, I don't know, you need to work on your speaking technique a bit more or something.
No, I mean, okay, I definitely need to do that. I need to compose my ideas better. Yeah. But it wasn't that I couldn't follow I mean, I followed where I was going, but I was going in other ways, like other fractals. As I was listening to myself, I was like, I could have said that and I could have said this. Yeah. And so I'm beginning to realize that this is like a really small segment of us. Like this is only one fractal of what could potentially come out in an episode. Yeah. Like we're infinity. We could say anything, and they're only getting like a small bit. Yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, we put out as much as we can to try to beam out that signal. Making
more episodes.
Yeah.
But
and part of it I think is about feeling comfortable in front of a camera. It's not always the easiest thing to do, express yourself entirely, honestly.
But it's a good tool.
Yeah.
It's like I think we're talking about trying to make yourself better.
Yeah.
Like people say, this is going to be a good 2015. This is going to be a good year. I'm going to achieve so much, and I've got all these goals, and it's going to be great. But that's a bad idea.
Why is it a bad idea?
Because it's not okay. Let's not so much say the idea,
Right.
but the mentality is wrong.
Okay.
Because as soon as you start to give it away to say this year's going to be good, you're putting pressure on the outcome. You should accept the outcome irrespective of expectation, irrespective of, why are you judging yourself so harshly? We haven't even started yet, and you're already judging yourself. I was listening to a podcast with Duncan Trussell, and he nails his stuff. Like he sometimes goes about a roundabout way, but he's always right.
Okay.
What he got through to me was that as soon as we say that we're going to get things done in this next year and this year's going to be better, then all of a sudden we're like on a subconscious level admitting that the person we are today is less than the person we're going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, but is there something wrong with that? As a person, because there's like multiple levels of consciousness there. Like you can say from like an Eckhart Tolle or a Zen perspective, who you are at your core never changes at all.
Yeah.
And then you have like a less integral level. You have your personality, and then maybe you have your ego on top. You're talking about developing your personality, maybe limiting your ego, something like that.
You mean like becoming more you?
Yeah. Well, that's another way to put it. Like making your expression more honest, bringing your actions into line with your authentic self.
Yep.
If that's even possible.
Well, yeah, no, it's 100% possible.
Yeah.
This is that is art. The idea of expressing yourself to the maximum.
Yeah.
And in a way, this is our art.
Yeah.
Having these conversations about ideas, like exploring
yeah.
exploring the mind, and maybe we, I don't know. There's times that we judge ourselves too harshly. And I'm not talking just me. I'm talking like everybody.
Yeah.
And you got to stop doing that.
Well, that's among artists. They always say you're your own worst critic, and that happens a lot. People criticize their own work. They can't see what other people do in their own work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do we break out of that? Because that's a wall to creativity and to progression. Like you just need to accept and. I mean, that's kind of like that's what I noticed when I was listening back to a few of the other episodes. It was, I should have said that, and I should have said this. No, that's what happened at the time. You know what I mean? And that's me in a time capsule.
Yeah.
But how do you break out of like not judging yourself so harshly?
I don't know. I think meditation is part of it, like awareness meditation. Yeah, I guess that's a main part of it. But also, like, I remember the first time the first few times I heard my voice on the recording, and I was like, that sounds pretty awful. It's you could probably, I've got a strange voice, there's no bone. I'm not going to make any bones about that, but I don't mind hearing it anymore.
It is what it is, and it's your voice.
Yeah.
So
got to work with what I got.
that's like key. But I think that's the issue people don't face with. They don't face. I've got this idea in my head that I'm trying to get out, and I just can't say it.
Okay.
Even right now, it's like I can't express it. It's like whatever it is you said.
I just need a little more work on that.
Well, okay, I'll wrap it up with this.
Yep.
Whatever it is you said you wanted to do this year, forget about the year. And come back to, because I'm sure it's not the first time you've tried it.
Yeah.
And the practice is going back to it and not beating yourself up that you left it for so long.
Yeah.
Even if it is something like, I want to meditate, every day this year. Cool. But just because you skipped a couple of days early in the game doesn't mean you're not going to finish it.
Yeah.
So Go do what it is you need to do.
When it comes to like that fourth
Now.
week of February, when you're like, oh, I'm not gonna, I just skipped a couple of days at the gym. I'll just give up.
It's like giving up isn't an option.
Well, but it is an option. It is an option. That's the thing, because you can. It's your choice. It's your choice to give up, or it's your choice to continue.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to give up, make sure you did choose to give up, and it didn't just happen because it happened. Like if you want to give up, cool, but own it, make it yours. Write on the wall, I gave up. You know what I mean? The same as what you wrote. The same as how you wrote. Start of the year. I'm going to the gym every week. This year.
Yeah.
You write it down. It's cool. Flick through your diary and write it at the top of every month. You know what I mean? I'm going to the gym minimum 3 times a week.
Yeah.
If that's your goal.
Yeah.
When you quit, make it real. Cross it out and write, I quit the gym. It's so easy to make goals real, but you don't make the quitting real. Just make it a choice.
It kind of just fades away. That's what happens.
Eat it.
Yeah.
Paradise Paradox.
Cool. My name's Kurt Robertson.
Aaron Battle.
Thanks for listening. Hit us up on Twitter. I'm at Trouble Bubble.
At BattleAZ.
Press like, press comment, press subscribe.
Keep dreaming.
Keep dreaming.
That's the motto of 2015. The waking dream. Always waking up into your nightmares. That's just me. It's been a rough week.
All right. Peace.